Welcome to the latest edition of the Charles White State Farm Aggie Athletics Coaches Show. My name is Shawn Joy, and we are joined today with head baseball coach Jared Mayeda. Jared, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, doing good. We're about a month into fall, so we're excited. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we appreciate your time. We know you guys are busy, and playoff baseball for the big leaguers starts today. So let's kind of get into the fall for the Aggies. What does that look like? You guys don't play till the spring, but what does the fall look like for you guys in getting prepared?
Yeah, we're fortunate that opposed to football and volleyball, soccer, they come in and they got to start playing right away. So we have some time. Uh, we're about a month into workouts now with our weight training and conditioning and on field stuff. So we started uh, inter squads just between ourselves a couple weeks ago, and then we have our first outside competition next week against Amarillo College here at the Grib here in the Handle. So everything is going pretty smooth so far. The getting to the point where guys are getting a little more sore and guys are getting a little more tired just with classes ramping up and stuff. But we've kept them pretty busy, and it's been a pretty solid fall so far.
So you have four outside competition dates in the fall, starting in October with Amarillo. You got Frank Phillips, you got Dodge City, and then you got Seward. When you play those outside competitions against those junior colleges, what are you wanting to get out of that for your guys when you guys do that?
Yeah, it's nice to play against another team to see new hitters, new pitchers. But in the fall, it's really about making sure that we're doing all the right things. So early on, it's their attitude and their effort and their hustle and trying to get down the larger things, and then we'll kind of focus on the details later on. But just kind of continue to get our at bats as hitters. Hitters are usually a little bit further behind pitchers this time of year. We only give them that scapegoat for so long. And then pitchers, again, seeing more hitters, extending their pitch count here as we kind of go through the fall. But again, seeing another uniform, again, we've been playing against ourselves for 2 or 3 weeks now. So seeing someone else in the box and on the mound is going to be important. But, we don't really focus too much on the score. Obviously we would like to go out and keep score, and, we'll play 2 7-inning games. So we'd like to win both. But if we're going about it the right way and we're getting better and progressing on the mound and taking better at bats and running the bases well and playing solid defense, then for a fall game, those are the things that we really try and focus on the most.
And then you end up in November 3rd through the 5th. You play the Fall World Series. That's always a fun thing for the guys. It's very competitive. It's good, fun nature. As a coach, as a coaching staff, what do you guys want to get out of the Fall World Series?
Yeah, so the Fall World Series is kind of that next step. We will keep score. It's a best of 3 series, so the winners will get a team meal. The losers will have some sort of punishment. We haven't decided yet, but we'll have 2 coaches on each side. They'll draft a team, and we have 45 guys right now, so we'll have 2 pretty good sized teams, and they'll go at it for 2 or 3 days. And again, that'll kind of be the ending of the fall in terms of our on field stuff. So hopefully they can put everything together. Pitchers will be able to throw 75, 80 pitches, hopefully 4 or 5 innings, and hitters will play the entire game. And again, we'll be keeping score, so that would kind of be the difference between a fall scrimmage as opposed to our forward series. So, if you guys aren't doing anything that day, come out. Again, our guys will appreciate the support, but hopefully that'll be kind of a cultivation of the entire fall kind of coming together.
You mentioned you had 45 guys on the roster. Give us a breakdown. Transfer, high school, new returner. What's the roster look like this year?
Yeah, we have close to 30 new players, guys who weren't here last year. The majority of those guys are going to be either junior college or transfers from 4-year schools. We have around 10 to 12 true freshmen, and a number of those guys, again, are coming in with the aspirations, and we hope as well that they're going to play some innings and be important for us. And but again, the larger amount is going to be our transfer guys, and to get some age out there, and not only just in our conference, but in the college landscape now, it helps to have some older guys around and just some experience and strength and all that. So a lot of them are transfers coming from junior college from California, Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, guys who are coming from the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, all over the world, Canada, Australia. So we've got a pretty diverse team, but the guys who are returning from last year are really setting the tone for the new guys in terms of how the expectation here is here at OPSU baseball. So we're really excited about the kind of the balance that we have, and kind of going forward, we'll be able to hopefully graduate another 14 seniors this year, and be able to graduate them into the real world. And but yeah, our group this year, we're really happy about where we're at, and just got to continue to work hard this fall and hopefully keep improving.
You've been going for about a month now, out at the grib and in the weight room. What do you so far see this team's strengths as being?
Yeah, we've really taken the next step in terms of having the guys hold each other accountable. We have a lot of talent this year, and everyone's excited this time of year getting on the field and seeing other opponents. But I think building the culture and having our program be the players' program. People aren't coming to watch the coaches coach; they're coming to watch the players play. So we've really tried to hone in on that in terms of our guys really taking the bull by the horns and being proud to play here at OPSU, and really, again, like I said, holding each other accountable has been a big part of what we're doing in terms of we talk about trying to prepare the guys for when they leave here, and they've done a great job about that. So we have 15 total pitchers, and 12 of them are transfer guys. So that's going to hopefully be one of our strengths this year. We're really excited about the pitching staff, and we did return a lot of our hitters from last year, and we'll kind of piece together some of our offense this year. But again, this time of year, we're pretty excited about everything. But those are a couple things that we're really excited about here so far this fall.
You talked about the pitching staff. New pitching coach Zeke Dugan played here, and then obviously Zach Mayhew is helping you guys out as well. What does that do for you as the head coach to have some pitchers that played here now running the pitching staff?
Yeah, they've done a great job. We told Zeke when he first got here that it's going to be kind of a clean slate in terms of a whole bunch of new pitchers. Our 3 returners are guys who pitched a little bit last year. They're sophomores this year, so everybody else is new. And he's kind of again taking the bull by the horns and kind of just ran with it, and he's done a great job. And him and Coach Mayhew, they pick each other's brains, and they'll ask us questions, but they know what they're doing down there. So I think the pitchers as well have kind of gravitated towards them, and they'll ask questions, and they have pitchers meetings, and again, they've done a tremendous job here for the first couple of months.
It's a long way till the start of the season in the spring, but what are some things right now that you guys have to get better at?
Yeah, a big part was the pitching. I think we had some really good pitchers last year that graduated, and we're missing them this year. But just getting deeper, being able to throw more strikes. It sounds elementary, but those are some things that a lot of teams struggle with. The kind of the easier things, but throwing strikes, working ahead of hitters, not walking hitters, and then just keeping our offense in the game. Our offense traditionally has been fairly solid. Coach Black and Coach Atbury and all the other coaches, they do a great job with our offense. And I think just pitching and defense has to be something that we're really good at. Especially, again, I mentioned the conference being a really good conference. So I think pitching and defense really has to be something that our defense was solid last year. Not saying that it needs to improve drastically, but pitching there as well needs to just be all around just a little bit better. And again, the guys have done a good job so far this fall to at least show that we can be better this coming spring.
Who are the key returners that we should be have an eye on for the spring?
Yeah, there's a number of them. Jackson Somerville, an outfielder that comes to mind. He played a lot of left field for us last year. Kobe Morgan is also a returning outfielder. Devin Lopez at first base. He hit the middle of the order for us pretty much all year last year. A couple pitchers, Jace Kushner and Tomas Medina, are a couple returners who they were freshmen last year, made some really, really great strides, and this fall they've really come in and are making some more strides again. So those are some of the returners. Alejandro Hernandez is another one he played third base for us last year. This year we've got a number of infielders who can play a whole bunch of spots, and he's been kind of moving around. He'll be a huge piece. So again, there's a whole bunch of guys who've returned to not only help us on the field, but guys who are in the clubhouse, in the weight room, off the field, who are tremendous guys. And again, we go back to helping build a culture or continue to have a good culture. And another one, David Garcia, comes to mind. He's a third-year guy for us, and he's going to catch a little bit. He might play first, a little outfield. So we're really excited about the returning core that we have from last year.
What about some newbies, some guys that you think we should keep our eye on in the spring that are new?
Yeah, pitchers again is kind of going to be a lot of new guys, a lot of the guys who we think are going to help us out. Gene Duran, Jason Davis, Cage Ralston, Miguel Montano are four guys who come to the top of my head, and again, we've got 15 really good ones down there who are going to help us out. Juan Perez, a corner infielder, Philip Matos, another corner infielder, Nguyen Colmer, an outfielder who we are really excited about. We've got a whole brand new batch of catchers that we're really high on. So, again, to kind of piece the new guys with the guys who have been here, I think so far it's worked out pretty solid for us.
Every time we have our coaches show, we talk with each coach about how good the SAC is and how good their conference is nationally. What do you try to do in the fall to get them ready for that level? You play your junior colleges and you do your different things, but what do you try to tell them, or what do you try to do to get them ready for the Sooner? Because you have a lot of new guys this year and they don't know that level yet.
Yeah, you hit on part of it. Playing some good teams in the fall. All the junior colleges that we bring in or that we go to are top-notch junior colleges, well-coached teams with good players. So the talent there, trying to see some good pitching and some good hitters is important for us. But the intensity level you can't really simulate until game one of the season. So we try and keep it pretty quick in practice in terms of keeping their heart rate up and keeping them kind of on their toes in terms of trying to make them be able to think on the spot and trying to be able to problem solvers on the field. So keeping practices as intense as we can. We try and tell them there's no such thing as practice speed, only game speed. So we try and do everything at game speed, and that way when the game gets here, it's hopefully they're able to slow it down. But the SAC's really good, and there's a lot of good teams, and everyone's well coached and good players. So again, the biggest thing for us is going to be those scrimmages against outside competition to hopefully to get as close as we can to simulate those spring games.
You were an all-conference player here. You were assistant coach for a handful of years. Last year was your first year as the head coach. What was the biggest takeaway that you learned last year from that position?
Yeah, there's many. As an assistant coach, you don't realize all the not burdens, but things you have to do as a head coach, and the differences. But just talking with alumni has been big takeaway. Becoming a head coach, a lot of people ask you questions, how the team's doing, whether that's here in town or shoot you a text or on a phone call, that type of deal. And everything else in terms of everyone looks to you, quote unquote, for the answers. So I'm enjoying being able to work with the entire team. When I was assistant, I was primarily working with the infielders and hitters, but now I kind of get to talk to Coach Dewey a little bit more about pitching and Coach Atbury about catching and Coach Gregg about outfield and help Coach Black with the infielders. So, I really enjoy kind of getting to oversee and kind of help where I'm needed because I'm just a baseball junkie. So I enjoy kind of doing all facets. But I've enjoyed it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Like you said, I'm an alumni here, and I love being in the handle.
You guys, the baseball program here does a lot of things off the field. Talk about that. What does that mean to you, and why do you guys continue to do that?
Yeah, it's a small town. Goodwill's a small town. Guyman, Texoma. It's a small area, and we ask a lot of our supporters and a lot of the people in our area. So giving back and being in the community is really a non-negotiable for us. And that's how it was, when I was assistant before I took over. And, the transition, us being in the community is we're trying to do the same thing. So being active, helping, whether that's here on campus, again, whether that's in the community, going to recess or, helping out at the doing chili handout in Guyman, we're really happy to be in town. And, like I said, we ask a lot of our supporters. So we feel like being in town and helping out, it's a two-way street. So it's really a non-negotiable for us in terms of being active in the community because, again, we have tremendous support here at OPSU.
Well, that's all we have today. We appreciate your time. We know you guys are busy. You're right in the middle of the fall. You're getting ready for your fall scrimmages coming up in October, and we want to wish you guys the best of luck. And we'll have you guys on again before the season starts. Okay.
Awesome. Go Aggies.
All right, that does it for our latest episode of the Charles White State Farm Aggie Athletics Coaches Show. We'll see you next time.